professionals, our life expectancy is already far lower than other major countries. Yes, our healthcare system today is already broken. And in my view, in order to remedy that crisis, we have got to do what every other major country on earth does. Not a radical idea, and that is to guarantee healthcare to all people as a human right. But what I have to tell you is that in the midst of all of this, the dysfunctionality of the current healthcare system, Donald Trump and his friends are making a horrific situation even worse. In fact, they are pushing our healthcare system over the edge to the verge of collapse. Now, you think your health insurance costs are high right now? You think you're already paying the highest prices in the world for healthcare? Well, guess what? Within the next couple of weeks, millions of Americans are going to get a letter from their insurance companies telling them that their insurance premiums will double. Let me repeat. As a result of Trump's big, beautiful bill and massive cuts to the Affordable Care Act, your health insurance premiums for 24 million Americans are going to double. And maybe even worse, could get worse. As part of that big, beautiful bill, 15 million Americans will be thrown off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. Studies from Yale University and the University of Pennsylvania suggest that when you throw 15 million low-income and working-class people off of the health care they have, some 50,000 people will die unnecessarily every single year. And it's not hard to figure out why. If you're low-income, you're working class, you're sick, you don't have any health insurance, you can't go to a doctor, you can't get into a hospital, you know what? You're going to die. 50,000 people unnecessarily every single year. But it's not just insurance premiums or getting thrown off the health care that you have. As part of these awful cuts, nursing homes in America are going to be decimated. My office has studied some of this. The nursing home situation in America today is a disaster. They're understaffed. And the way we treat the elderly and disabled who are in nursing homes is something we should be ashamed about. But guess what? When 2 out of 3 people in nursing homes are dependent on Medicaid, that situation is going to become much worse. Rural hospitals are going to be hard hit. Republicans like to talk about investing $50 billion into rural health care, but what they somehow forgot to tell you is that their cuts in the bill are $150 billion. In other words, they put $50 billion in after taking $150 billion out. That's a loss of $100 billion for rural health care. Further, we're talking about community health centers. 32 million Americans, all walks of life, get their health care, primary health care, dental care, mental health counseling, low-cost prescription drugs from community health centers. They are going to be decimated as a result of these cuts. So, my friends, this is, in my view, what this government shutdown is all about. Republicans want what they call a clean CR. And what that means, for the first time ever, what they want to do is push forward a bill and get it passed without any Democratic input. Now, in the Senate, the rules are clear. They need 60 votes. And what that means always is there has to be bipartisanship. You want 60 votes, you got to have both parties coming together. Republicans are not doing that. They're not negotiating. They're simply saying, take it or leave it, my way or the highway. Well, many of us in Congress are not going to take it. So that is what this whole government shutdown is about. Now, you may not hear much of it from the media, or you may not hear it from most Democrats or Republicans, but that is the simple truth. So let me be as honest as I can be. And that is, I do not intend to vote for legislation that will allow 50,000 Americans to die unnecessarily every single year. Ain't going to get my vote. So let me conclude by asking